Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. I'm always getting stuck in the grout here, so I have to kind of lift and pull a little bit. Aqua babies. So look at this. I'm going to do your archetypal energy reading. I'm going to look at the current and future energy of you. And I've been doing it with Oracle and Tarot cards for everyone so far in this little cycle of readings. And I'm getting ready to go, and I'm setting up the counter, which is funny because yesterday I took the day off. I was really tired. I was so tired yesterday. And I think I know why now. I was kind of tired a few minutes ago and I thought, I don't even know if I can do any videos today. And then I thought about doing yours and I kind of pepped up and got energized again. But I realized I didn't really take any a pause or a breath from being away on vacation at the cottage that we rented, cleaning the cottage, packing up the car, driving 3.5, 4 hours to get home, unpacking the car, doing a whole bunch of laundry, and just looking after everything else, jumping right into my readings and go, because I didn't feel tired. I remember the night we came back, I thought, I've done so much and I'm not tired. I'm just amazing. And then I crashed. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. So, yeah, I'm kind of coming back again. And this is the funny thing, I was thinking to myself, I feel like I want to do my readings up in my space again, because I hadn't been there for a while. And I'm finding I like to sit in a space for a time, because I almost the energy needs to be fresh. This area stays fresh for a very long time, because I think there's just a lot of movement, there's a lot of windows, we're doing things in and out, so we're, physically moving the air around in this space and energy and electromagnetic currents or whatever. I'm too tired to take all my shit up there. Take it up there. So I'm going to stay here. I'm like, I can't. I'm not going to go up and down those stairs and take all these cards and this tripod and all. I'm going to stay right here. So I determined that. And then I was getting ready to get the cards together. And I heard distinctly, no tarot cards for Aquarius. No tarot cards for Aquarius, just Oracle cards. And I felt, I'm still supposed to do the same reading I've been doing for everybody, but Oracle cards for you. And I thought, well, that's really different. So, well, I guess if I'm going to do something really different, it would be for Aquarius. And I'm really feeling that. I'm supposed to, and I've got them all out here. I got them shuffled. I'm being drawn actually to one in particular where I would have used the tarot cards for you, which I think is what I'm going to be using, which is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun Oracle deck. I just didn't have to say Oracle because it wasn't a name. But yeah, I do have the cartomancy out, and I do have my teeny tiny tarot deck. Now this is interesting because if you didn't hear, I should make a video on it. Did I make a video? Part of the I'm back video, I talked about it. I'm going to be auctioning off, this deck, this energy oracle deck, my Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle and Tarot decks, the original ones. I know I had a giveaway when hit 100,000 subscribers last year. And those were new decks that I used for a little bit. These are the decks that I've used from the beginning of my channel. I'm going to be auctioning them off. And it's not that I won't be using these types of decks again. I just want new ones. I want new ones. So anyways, yeah, so you might actually see me using them for some of the very last times, because I ordered new ones to replace these. I'm not going to auction these off until I get my new ones. And they're coming, I think, today. So this might be some of the last times that I actually use these decks on camera on YouTube. So yeah, let's see. There's a few. Anyway, let's just get into it. I feel like I needed a hot minute to have a little talky talk with you, Aqua babies. Light seers. I'm hearing light seers. All sorts. This is always interesting. Walking into Aquarius's energy. Light seers, you're my aqua babies, of course. I'm hearing the word vegan, spiritualist. Yeah, I'm tapping into you guys. Okay, Aquarius. Oh, there's going to be extended. If this is just a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. If it does, there's an extended. In the extended, I'm going to look at the in-between energy. The energy that you sit in, like after you've kind of left this future energy, this current energy before you get into the future. We're going to look at personal challenges, distractions to be aware of, and areas to focus on in the extended. But right now, I'm going to start with the archetype deck to start building up what your current and future energy are. I see other people shuffle this deck without problems. What the hell it is with this deck? Okay. Aquarius. They put timestamp. Not everybody likes to go to ramble. Aquarius. Current and future energy. Archetypal. What you're harnessing, Aquarius. I hear you getting downloads. It's just like, if you're not, you're going to be. Right now, you are the Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Oh, that's interesting. Because the cards that I've been called to use for you will make things interesting. Okay, I want to see your future. There's something about that card that I've been noticing. Trickster, transcending conventions, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Student is at the bottom. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Well, that's certainly Aquarius. What? Okay, one of the things what's going on here? Oh, I'm seeing so much in this card. Okay, I noticed this. I never noticed it before. I can't remember who had this card this week. And I think it was in their future. Someone had this in their future. It didn't come to me till I did the extended. And it jumped out at me. So it was meant for the people that went to the extended. But this card, I really, like, actually, the person here is, like, sad. This person is sad, but they're putting on a mask to be happy. I don't know why that wasn't so obvious, but I was drawn to it. I'm drawn to it again, but I'm looking even deeper this time. And the face that's crying is also a mask. That's a really interesting energy. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. It's kind of like removing yourself from situations, okay, it's acknowledging the emotions that you have about, I feel like, situations and circumstances that may be out of your control, but trying to find the humor in this, trying to move beyond it, and realize that each mask is very interchangeable. That you can actually be quite sad, but you can have moments of happiness and joy. Like you could be, okay, so if you think about someone who has lost something major in their life, like maybe a pet, or a friend, or a family member, or someone has passed away or gone, or someone has moved away. Even thinking too, like, I always think about it as a parent, like that point when your kids go off to college or university, if they ended up going somewhere really far, like you can sit in that sadness, but then, you know, something could happen. You could go out with some friends and you actually legitimately are happy, are enjoying that moment and being happy. So that mask, and it isn't a mask. I think it's more like just the emotions that we kind of cycle through. I feel like you're being very cyclical in your emotions right now, Aquarius. And sort of acknowledging that you can have happy moments and you can have sad moments. And it doesn't really mean that the happy moments that you're having are fake. They're actually real. They're real in that moment. Okay, now over here, the trickster in the future, you're doing, I want to feel very Aquarius. I want to say very Aquarius. Transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So this Fool card, the Fool also is Aquarius energy in the tarot, which is kind of really unique. These are like the two different polar energies of Aquarius that I'm feeling here. This is the emotional aspect. And then this to me is much more like the manifestation aspect. This is kind of like the download, doing something with the download. You could be even receiving downloads, Aquarius, that are making you emotional, and you might not even be aware of it. Like maybe your emotions are up and down. Like one minute you got the happy face on, the next minute you got the tear face on. I was watching the movie last night. I got really emotional. What was it? Oh God, yeah. It was I Kill Giants. That I'd never watched that before. I got so emotional at that movie. I was like, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. But it can be like that. Like you can be in a moment of happiness and all of a sudden you're experiencing something that really like pulls on your emotions. You're having like quite an emotional experience. Whether that's really happy, quite sad. It's sort of, well, let's see what, so I'm going into the doggy wisdom here. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Something like that. It's an oracle deck. Very cute. I will warn you now, I get highly distracted by the pictures, the cards, which is so funny because I phoned yesterday, Lily, the vet, the receptionist. She has to get her rabies shot. It's been 2 years or something. I think it's a 2 or 3 year shot. And so she calls up the name and they take a photo of each dog and they see it on the computer. So she's talking away at me, to me, and she says, okay, I'm just pulling up. Oh my God. Oh, this is the lady on the phone. She's so cute. So funny. She got totally distracted. That happens to me with this deck. So bear with me. Maybe you'll share in the distraction. Oh, so cute. You got contentment. I've been telling you, come on. How could you leave home if that was looking at you at the door? I'm telling you, I bet you a lot of people phone in sick to work when they have a little dog. And I can't go in today. My dog is looking at me like, in the future. Oh my gosh. What is loneliness in the future? This is like the same dog. But one's a little chubbier. Be honest. So maybe you're a little chubbier now than what you're going to be in the future. Okay, here. Contentment. Isn't it interesting, like contentment with this up and down emotional energy? You're kind of content in it. But then you have this loneliness over here. I'm really curious what you got. Like, what are you making here? This is something that you need to do on your own. In the future, like whatever manifestation that you're actually going to be doing, there is a sense of having to make a sacrifice. I feel like this loneliness is a little bit almost like self-imposed, perhaps. This is really weird, but I almost feel like you want to dive into loneliness. I feel like you want to feel it and you want to go in deep with it. So it sort of feels a bit too like, so the bottom is fun. The bottom is fun. This energy is linked to another reading I did a little bit here. And it was about cycling through emotions. And then the loneliness energy is because you have all the emotions over here and you're content in that. But I really feel like there's experiences that you're going through where you're having this. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this, or just talking to a friend on the phone and it's great. And then, I don't know, maybe thinking about some sort of loss that you've had, or just going through something, or watching a movie, like these ups and downs, and you're content in that right now. In the future, I don't see emotional up and down, but I do see loneliness, but I don't see loneliness attached to anything except something that is self-imposed here by you. Okay, so let's keep growing this reading. Let's get into, oh gosh, I hope I can do this. I don't know. Sometimes when I feel like I'm called to do something a certain way, there's always like my own mind gets in on it. Like, I don't know, am I going to be able to interpret what you're trying to get me to say with these cards? So let's see. We're going to look at what you've been working on, what you've been healing, and what is starting to blossom currently for you. And then in the future, we're going to look at what you will finish working on, what will be healed, and what will be ready for you to harvest with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Okay. Okay, I gotta put a card on each one of these from this deck first, apparently. Okay. Each one of these, I mean, sorry. I'm kind of talking to myself and including you in that. Wow, negotiation. This is for your current energy. I really do feel like, though, you are negotiating. Look at, like, it's got the sun and the moon here. And these two. And it's Libra energy. So it is. It's like a balance. It's finding balance. It's being real comfortable in the balance of ups and downs, happy moments, sad moments. It's contentment. You're negotiating this. The future is restlessness. Oh, maybe it's not so self-imposed. Or maybe it is. This loneliness. Okay, I feel like your behavior will not be as predictable in the future. I really feel that too. And I feel like in terms of not being so predictable, I don't know, maybe you won't be going out for certain invitations, but there's a restlessness here. It's almost like perhaps not finding exactly what you want through what's being offered. So making a choice to not even go towards what's being offered, whether that's your friends, family, anything. So I was just trying to read that. Okay, what have you been working on? Choice. Libra again. What is an interesting card this is? Oh my God. Look at the images on that. Now what's really interesting is this is Libra in Mars, and over here you've got a Mercury in Aries. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So I just, that I'm picking, like, it's interesting how we have these energies kind of coming through. Okay, what have you been healing? Influence. Libra again. What is starting to blossom? Fulfillment. So funny. I gotta say it. Upside down, it looked like flatulence, but it's fulfillment. Oh my God, that's so funny. What have you been, what is starting to blossom? I'm gonna cry, I'm laughing so hard. It looked like flatulence. Okay, pull it together. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, what will you finish working on in the future? Flatterly. Flatterly. Oh shit, Aquarius. I don't know what it is, but you've got me giggling so bad. Maybe it's myself. This isn't flattery. I can't stop saying flattery. What will you finish working on? Okay, what will be healed? Risk. Aries energy again. Oh, this is interesting. What will be healed is risk. So risk assessment. Okay. Oh my God. That was too funny. That's kind of like the kind of joke that you share. Oh, I used to have stuff like that with my grandparents when I was a kid. We'd be playing games, and my grandfather and I would be so funny. My grandmother was like, I'm going to piss myself from laughing so hard if you don't stop. What will be ready to harvest? Indecision. Oh, making a choice. This is, look at, you have got so much Libra energy going on right now. Libra? No, sorry. That's Sagittarius. Libra. Wow. And this is Gemini too. Like a major air energy. You're not just in your own air energy right now. You are, but I feel like too, with all this Libra energy, I feel like it has an awful lot to do with karmic balances for you. There's an awful lot about balance in this entire reading, and coming to terms with different things in your life, coming to terms with, maybe it goes beyond too, like just emotional balance. There's a lot of different balances that are playing out for you here. And then you've got convention. Oh, that's really different. That's Capricorn. And resistance, Taurus. Like all of a sudden there's this, and status, Taurus. There's all this earth energy sitting like underneath everything here. Convention, resistance, and status. And then behind that is concentration. And then principle, and then it's all reversed. So it's Gemini, Sagittarius again. But there's so much earth energy. And look what it represents, like underneath everything, like convention, resistance, status. You're really pushing through something. You're being very Aquarian. you know, like not the status quo, but definitely coming up against resistance in terms of that. What you've been working on, okay, you've been working on your choices. Now, these choices are really, really interesting. There's angels in the clouds here, and one of them literally looks like she is the one that is used for the Justice card in the tarot. It feels like it's so much, but it's... Well, there's two angels looking at this, okay, and there's even the stars. I can't remember the meaning of the stars. The stars usually sit around the head of Justice, I think. And then you can see like she's blindfolded with the weight, and she's got the sword for the truth, right? Like it's all right there. This is almost like the Justice card here. But there's another angel who's actually looking. I feel like what you've been, so it's almost like, I feel like you're this other entity up here in the clouds looking at the karmic balance, like weighing out fairness. And I can't even, I feel like this is almost every element of your life, like yin and yang energy, yes and no, maybe, possibly. You've really been working on emotions. I think it's being fed emotionally. I think emotions in all of this are the underlying, and you are pushing through convention. You're meeting resistance, and there might even be status that's involved with this, which is all man-made, completely man-made. It's all earthly. It's all earth energy sitting underneath everything, and you are claiming air energy like nobody's business. But it's almost like an emotion, like the air and the earth hitting each other. Like, well, what is that? The ethereal and the earth, they two come together. What is that? And it's almost like it makes an emotional point for you. It's like you're alchemizing things through emotional experience. Whether you're even consciously doing it or not, I think you are subconsciously for sure. Now, the other thing is, in this, what have you been working on? Is this person's feet are bound, and then there's a heart with a sword through it, but the heart is actually more like in the groin area. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at this, okay? And look at this. Like this whole kind of like groin area is lit up, and so is the head, the mind. Fascinating. Because the swords are thoughts and ideas. Now the heart to me represents sort of like watery energy, like emotions and feelings, which is definitely what you're going through here. This is what's happening. It's like, and bound, like almost like bound to the earth, bound to status, bound to convention, trying to push through that and being met with resistance. Because some of these things, I feel like for you, you have a lot of passion about. Now, you have a lot of passion about it, and you have your own thoughts about what you want for yourself and how you would like that to move forward. But it's like you hit the road, and yeah, you hit it running, but there's things there that almost can't be moved. You can't move them on your own, at least. Up to this point. Something might be changing in the future. But the rose with the thorns, this is just covered in thorns. So it's the beauty, I feel too, like what you've been working on is acknowledging the beauty in life, and then the pain behind it as well. Because all these thorns sit behind the rose. What have you been healing is influence. So there's Mercury in Libra. This is so much like, well, this is like Adam and Eve and the serpent. Knowledge, information, Mercury. Like, look at the snake's tongue. It's a symbol of Mercury. So it is knowledge. What have you been healing that? Wow, this is such a deep reading, Aquarius. What have you been healing is, I do feel like that you receive information, you receive inspiration, you receive downloads in a way that is meant to transcend this convention. It is meant to be able to push through this resistance. There's Mercury again, but Mercury in Taurus. Like not wanting to change information, not wanting to change your way of thinking and thought and process. healing your origins. There's that rose again. You've been healing your origins. This card reminds me too, like the whole concept of sin. I watched that movie last night after I watched I Killed Giants, Noah, with, I don't remember his name. I don't know. Russell Crowe? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't remember their names. But anyways, you know, one of the things that's always really bothered me about the Bible and the Christian stories and that, and actually it's probably not even just in that religion, but it is, the downfall of man is always in these stories, it's always her fault. It's always the feminine's fault. And I just think to myself, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, at what point do you take accountability for what you've done, what you've decided to do, what actions you've taken, what lust you could not control, whatever that was? When do you, as masculine energy, take ownership of that and stop projecting it onto feminine energy and says, well, because she looked this way, or it's because of this, or it's because of that. Like, there's always a choice. It's because she ate the apple. That's why we all fell. Well, that's bullshit. And I feel like this is what, like, I'm really feeding into you. Like, I just feel like you feel like everything is bullshit. And this is what you've been trying to heal with yourself and be able to move forward. Like, not feel so bound to this. Like, look at, it's like, you know what, this scale, I'm gonna double check. Like, here you are, double checking. Are you sure that's balanced? Because I'm kind of thinking it might not always be. And then you got the flatulence card here. That's kind of like, well, okay, look, let's look at this guy here. Okay, this is Saturn in Sagittarius. And look at Moneybags. Mr. Moneybags with the ship coming in. That feels an awful lot like convention, resistance, and status, doesn't it? This is what is getting ready to blossom for you. I feel like you're turning this completely around, whatever you've been doing in your life, like on your personal level here. I'm just reading the energy and really the emotions and a bit of what's coming through intuitively. But this is growing and expanding, even with the confining energy of Saturn, because Saturn is the constrainer. But Saturn also confines in a way so that certain things do not grow beyond what can be handled. Like the whole story of Jupiter in the creation of our solar system very early on. It was just moving forward and sucking everything up in its path. And it was, you know, eventually would have sucked up Earth and Venus and Mercury and everything, and then just into the sun. But Saturn's gravity started playing an influence on Jupiter, and they kind of met like a good in between, like, oh, and they kept each other. It stopped Jupiter from just, like, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But for what? It was just going to kamikaze into the sun. I feel like Aquarius. The readings that I get from you are something else, I got to tell you. So I feel like, right, like bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. Well, what the hell is the point? It's almost like you're looking at society. You're looking at what is around you, what's been created. And you're saying, well, what the hell is the point? It's almost like, well, this needs to get bigger. This needs to get stronger. It's like Jupiter. It's almost like you're recognizing that everything has become like Jupiter, and it's growing and expanding to such a rate that it's actually going to consume everything that it's meant to be in harmony with. So this, with Saturn in Sagittarius, for what is starting to blossom for you, you are pushing past the convention, but yet you are doing it in such a way that you are going to be finding growth. You are going to be finding abundance, but not the way it's been found before. Okay, what will you finish working on? Is flattery. That's really interesting here. Oh, this is Venus and Gemini. Do you know what I feel like with this? I feel like if you've been prone, I don't know if prone, I think everybody kind of does this, right? Like we all have regular sort of niceties. I don't know what extreme you're going to take this to. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. You look great today. You know, like that's flattery. It really is. I mean, if the person doesn't look great, I I kind of think that's where you might be going. So I think you're just going to be an awful lot honest in the future here. Maybe if there is something going on. It's medicinal. I'm getting that here. It's medicinal. But it's a movement that's required in the future. And it's not, there's no convention here. There's predictable behavior, transcending convention and stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Look out, world. Aquarius is about to unwrap their package and explode out here. What you will finish working on is flattering people. I don't think you're going to flatter yourself. I don't think you're going to flatter anyone around you. I think you just deal with your shit. Let's just do it. That's what I really get from that. That is such an interesting card to be coming out there. Well, this has inspired me. I don't know if I can pull this out with Pisces. It's intense. Like Pisces is very emotional energy. This is very dreamy. This is like cosmic lightning beams coming in here. So I really think there'll be, I want to say too, for some of you, I think if you deal with family members or you deal with friends, and for the most of the time, I don't know, maybe you got the odd person that's just, it's just easier to say, yeah, you look great today, John, or whatever. You say, yeah, you look like shit. I don't know. Like, I really think you're just not gonna, and I don't feel like yet, but we'll see. I don't feel like you're going to take this on in terms of trying to hurt anyone. I kind of feel like you're going to give right back what you receive. And I get that because what have you been working on is this choice. And look at the way you are looking at these scales. Like, okay, you sure that's balanced? Are you sure? You want to double check that? So I do feel as if people that you may have dealt with in the past, people that you deal with now or in the future. This is the future. But I feel like these will still be about people from your past. I don't know. If this relative or this friend or whatever is always giving everyone else a hard time, and it's just easier to say, hey, you look great today. Or maybe it's a bit of a narcissistic person. They always like to be their ego stroked. And it's just easier to keep that going. You're going to tell them right out, you look like shit, I'm not going to flatter you anymore. Have you taken a good look in the mirror there? You're looking at everyone else, but look at yourself. This is like intense energy, Aquarius. What the hell? It's just like, whew. Flatulence too. But that's funny because it's just like air out of the ass. Like, it just what's starting to blossom for you. I feel like no more air out of the ass, no more air out of your mouth. That isn't exactly what you want to say. I feel like there's a filter. That's how I would describe this. There is a massive filter about to be removed off of Aquarius. So everyone just be prepared. What will be healed is risk. Now here you have Saturn and Mars and Aries. I always find this to be really interesting. The imagery in this tells me so much. Like if you look at the top, there's this guy and he's going through, it's like a jungle. And then there's a scary bear. But if you look at the bottom, actually, well, no, you might be making things out to be scarier than they are. Actually, it's not all that big. And it's really, there's actually a little taco, or I don't know if it's a taco or a fajita or a pizza slice attached to it. And it's not a big scary jungle. It's a small tree of opportunity that's starting to grow. And there's keys here for you to open up new opportunities. So what will be healed for you is, I feel like certainly things that may have in the past intimidated you, and it might have been this convention, this resistance, and this status, and saying, screw this shit. I don't have time for your crap. I see potential beyond this. I don't just see the big scary bear. I don't see an intimidating forest. I see a little tiny tree here that's ready for me to invest in and grow some potential out of it. And you know what, the bear, yeah, maybe I'll hunt you, buddy, and turn you into a pizza slice. It's just like really turning the tables on everything. I don't think I have any Aquarian friends. Woo. Okay, what will be ready to harvest is indecision. That No. Oh, look, right? There's that Libra energy and it's Venus. Oh, and over here it was Mars. What have you been working on? Well, it's about to be harvested. Your masculine energy has been is currently looking for justice for yourself. So I'm looking at that scale. I'm paying close attention there. I'm calling it out. And then, so in the future, what you're going to harvest here is the feminine within you. I wonder what that constellation is. Well, maybe it's Libra. There's a constellation appearing on this angel. So it's probably Libra. And what I really like is that the hourglass is here and it's got wings on it. Almost like the wings of justice, the wings of movement, the wings of truth, a messenger. So in the future, what will be ready for you to harvest is what it is that you're trying to get balance in right now. What it is that you're trying to get balance in, what it is that you're trying to get justice in, everything that you were feeling and moving through. This is what you are going to harvest. What you are working on right now, if it's not like in the reality of your life, it absolutely is in how you feel and think and negotiate life and how you see things as equal and unequal. Your perception of scary or not scary. I really feel like the divine feminine within you being set completely free. Oh, I like that, right? Because this comes over here. What have you been healing? And I get this. I just get this story of Adam and Eve. And I'm just like, it just drives me crazy too as a woman. It's like, you know, y'all men are running the world and it's like really, it's a crap show right now. So how can this masculine energy, and this is within all of us, which to me also represents this, right? This kind of energy. How can that continue not to look at itself and project what it does wrong onto other energies? Oh, you're getting me all riled up. Get me all riled up, Aquarius. But yeah, I see this feminine energy. If there was indecision about the actions that you take, the reasons behind them, no longer, because this is almost like shame. Like it's almost like she's standing behind a tree. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't behave that way, or I shouldn't do this. It's like, yeah, no, you know what? You can free yourself from those thoughts because that's bullshit. It really is. Oh man, Aquarius, this reading's on fire. I need a break now. No, I got to go with the extended. So that's what I got. That's what I got here. If that wasn't enough. So I'm just going to push these aside. Oh my goodness, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I tell you, I'm never going to look at fulfillment the same way again. And then flattery. So I can say flattery now. I couldn't say it after I said flatulence so many times. All right, there you go. I'm going to go to the extended, Aquarius. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.